Hello and welcome back to the Calculator Review, hosted on Caliquin.com. Today is day 14 of Calculatober, and I've got something pretty exciting. This is the Lightning Adding Machine Company Incorporated, really just referred to as the Lightning Adding Machine. So I tried to do as much research on this one as I could. And the best I could find out was the original model came out in the late 1940s, but this was one of the later models that was released in mid-1950s, possibly as late as 1960. Either way, this thing is very old, and it still works amazingly. So when I bought it, it was filthy. There was dirt caked inside of it. It was really hard to rotate these dials. So what I did was first I tried to take it apart, but you have to remove these clips, and there is a lot of risk in severely damaging the calculator doing that, so I didn't want to do that. So the idea I came up with was to spray this with soap and water inside of it. I scrubbed as much as I could and then blasted out all the dirt with water as much as I could. And then after that, I hit it with isopropyl alcohol. I sprayed that into everything and let it soak into it to kind of displace that water. And then finally I hit it with some WD-40, and that helped displace any remaining water and also lubricated things. And after a few days of drying, this thing worked flawlessly. So I was really happy that that whole thing worked out. So this device originally came with a stand and a stylus, but the one I bought didn't come with that. And the whole setup was about $12.95, and adjusted for inflation, that's a bit over $130 today. So this was a pretty expensive calculator for its time. I got this one for $9 on eBay, but I've seen them go up as high as $30, sometimes even $40. So I was really lucky to get this one for the price I did. But anyway, let's take a look at how it works. So we can do some simple adding. So let's do 1,948, which is roughly the year that this came out. And we'll add that same amount. So we're going to multiply this by 2. So 1,400. Oh, whoops. Okay, that's 998. And that is not the correct answer. Wait, 1,498. It should be less than 3,000. I did something wrong there. That was not the fault of the calculator. I messed something up. I probably should have gone this way with it. But that brings up my favorite part of this whole thing, and that's the slider. So to reset it, you just pull it, and you get a really loud clicky noise, and it all goes back to 0. It is very cool. It feels like it shouldn't do that, but after you've used it a few times, it feels totally natural and awesome. So this thing's also capable of doing subtraction. So the way that works is you focus on these smaller digits. So if I want to do, let's say, we'll start with the number 563, and then I want to subtract 72 from that. I'll start with 7, and then go backwards, and then 2, I get 491. Is that right? I forgot what the first number was. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. But anyway, so this goes up to the 10,000s, though if you decide to not include the cents, then you can get up to 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, up to 10 million on this. So, yeah, 7 digits. So, up to 90 million, 99 million. So this is actually pretty powerful, and I did review a calculator a while back that was very similar to this, but it was made of plastic instead of metal. This is definitely the superior machine. because this feels, I mean, this thing is strong, very, very strong. It's a solid block of metal, possibly aluminum, possibly iron. Let's find out. Yeah. It's magnetic, so it's iron. So this thing was built to last, and it has survived extremely well. Even being full of dirt and grime and all that other stuff, now that it's been cleaned up, it runs amazingly. And this is something I've really enjoyed having. I love mechanical calculators, especially, I mean, the older the better. And this one is very, very old. But it doesn't look that old. I mean, the only reason it looks old is because this style of thing just doesn't exist these days. Excuse me. So where am I? So yeah, all the interesting stuff's on the front. The back, not a whole lot going on. I did make a mistake when I was cleaning this, because there was so much dirt on it. There was a date stamped on here, but I don't think it was the date this was manufactured, but it was printed in ink on here. And that just wiped off when I was cleaning it. I thought that was a more permanent thing. It looked more permanent. I didn't take any pictures or anything of before, so I've forgotten what that date was. That's kind of sad. But, oh well. And like I said, I'm not entirely convinced that that date was when this thing was manufactured, because it was, I want to say like 1968, which is significantly later than when this style of calculator was discontinued by the Lightning Adding Machine Company, Incorporated. There's not a whole lot to be found as far as the company. As far as I know, they don't exist anymore. They've gone out of business long ago. So, and devices like this are not made anymore. Nobody has any reason to make anything like this these days. So this is a pretty cool piece of history in my collection, and I'm glad that I got it working as well as it does. I don't know what's going on with my math. Here, I'll just do 33 plus 70, 90. See, that's not right. 33 plus 70. So, well, that's annoying. 3. I mean, that's definitely 7 right there. Ah, there it goes. Okay. So yeah, I was struggling with that final digit there. But there. And I apologize if you can't really see the numbers. They are very small. But, okay, so the reason it wasn't working earlier was because I wasn't pulling hard enough on the final digit, or final tens place. But, like I said, this thing does work just fine. I'll probably need to hit it with oil again, because it's been a while since I did the cleanup on this. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this. It's always cool to show these kinds of things off to the world. Not a lot of people really discuss mechanical calculators anymore, but I find them to be one of the most fascinating things you can find at antique stores or eBay. I'm always on the lookout for these kinds of things, so every time I get my hands on one, it's very exciting. So, yeah, I will see you in the next calculator review. Bye!